This video has been sponsored by Dragon Ball Fever. More about it later down the video. In the last part, Beerus comes to Earth and demands to see a Super Saiyan God. He battles in the little tournament Bulma has for her birthday and all goes well until he gets pissed off and now demands for the Saiyan God. Shenron reveals the process and Ulo is appointed to become the Super Saiyan God. After the ritual, Ulo and Beerus begin the fight. In this part, we continue the Beerus and Ulo's battle, so let's continue. Beerus is amazed at Ulo's latent ability, surprising that a Super Saiyan God will be that powerful. He wanted to fight to continue and go for a bit more before he goes into a higher power. Ulo is holding her own, giving it her all, and letting the borrowed power of Super Saiyan God get her to greater and greater heights. Ulo powers up once more and starts throwing mad hits at Beerus. Beerus is smiling and Ulo is totally confused at what, but it's all justified when Beerus powers up a massive key ball above his head and throws it at Ulo. Ulo watches on, mortified at the view and doubting her ability to counter the attack. She still tries using the Kamehameha taught by her husband Gohan, and she keeps it firmly at place. What she doesn't know is that Beerus' power is way beyond hers, and Beerus flicks it harder and amping its energy output even more, nearly double. This is where Ulo struggles with the energy ball and is trying her best to hold it off, but her Super Saiyan God isn't being cooperative. However, she does learn a thing about it. The energy she feels, the power she harnesses, it's all a special property, a different type of ki. And she now isn't in control of it, able to use more of its power and push the limit. Beerus is astonished to see that Ulo has managed to do that all on her own and respecting the young woman for her feat. However, this is where things turn. Ulo's second thing she manages to adapt to, sensing that God ki. She can sense Beerus, the power of his ki ball and so many other things harnessing such a property as God ki. She isn't mortified anymore. She's ready to collapse from being terrified. Beerus senses the distress and cancels the attack, looking at Ulo tremble in fear. Beerus asks Ulo about what she's thinking about and Ulo mutters something about Beerus' power. Beerus takes a second to realize it and compassionately smiles at Ulo, telling her that now that she knows his power to keep it under wraps from others and to say that she defeated him. Ulo, who already went out of her Super Saiyan God, says that it's not what she wants out of this fight. She wants to beat him fair and square to know she at least managed to get Beerus down a little bit. Bringing that fire aura right back up, she wants to surpass her limits. Beerus watches on in amazement to her dedication to win and sees why she was the one to defeat Majin Buu. Ulo starts slowly glowing blue as her aura also starts to change, screaming like never before and momentarily transforming into something not seen yet. Vegeta, who already got a neck cramp by now, widens his eyes at the display of it and lowering his crossed arms. Whis is also intrigued at the view, wondering on the power-up and what it actually is. But before anyone else caught a solid glimpse of the form, she goes back to base completely drained. Beerus catches her and looks at planet Earth. He's amazed someone like this existed on it. What gave him extra kudos is the amazing and delicious food that exists on it too. So seeing she's still breathing, Beerus tosses her into an ocean along with himself to make it seem like a draw to everyone. Ulo falls in the water, knowing she's doomed along with the world she swore she will protect so dearly. Family she just managed to form. Friends she has grown to like. She started absorbing the surrounding energy much like she did with Goku's Spirit Bomb. Beerus has crashed down, deeming himself defeated. Whis knew he's not, but played along due to Beerus' respect towards the Saiyans. Ulo then comes out of the water, holding a Spirit Bomb in the air with her arms. She smiles and absorbs the rest of the Spirit Bomb. That managed to get her energy back and she easily went back into the God power of Super Saiyan God, then started transforming back into the blue form. She succeeds and attacks Beerus, landing a punch on him.
Stop.
You wanted to skip the sponsorship, didn't you?
Look, man.
Thought you was slick, huh?
Don't let him skip the sponsorship.
Oh, I ain't letting him. I was paid good money for it. You can sit through it. Dragon Ball Fever is a fan comic done by Norlight. It's about a girl that has been saved from Red Ribbon Army by Goku Black. Now please support the artist and check out the link in the description below. And now, you can continue watching. He decides to go and power up once more, attacking Ulo for real. She gets punched, but she eats that punch much like Vegeta did after seeing Bulma get slapped. She throws a punch back, throwing Beerus back along with it. Whis looks at Ulo, seeing the drawbacks of the new form and the high stamina drain. Ulo isn't used to such a power yet, and God Ki is draining too much from her on its own, let alone this new power-up, so Ulo, despite her having a full stamina and Ki, she's already losing a vast majority of it. Knowing she can't keep it up for long, and her aura bursting in and out, transitioning into the fire aura of Super Saiyan God. Beerus sees that Ulo is losing the vast amount of energy she absorbed, and she goes back to base. She's worn down and tells Beerus to get on with it, how she failed and deserves what comes next. Beerus is astonished, a mortal letting him to do to his pleasing. Beerus zips to Ulo, looking her dead in the eyes, and Ulo is just waiting for her death, no emotion whatsoever. However, Beerus places his hand on Ulo's shoulder, showing compassion to her and her respect for battle, as well as her power. Ulo's really confused as to what Beerus is saying, but Beerus smiles. For the first time, we see Beerus' soft side for the first time. Vegeta looks on, seeing his little girl befriending a ruthless destroyer. Ulo can't help but fall into Beerus' chest from exhaustion. Beerus catches her and slowly descends down. He's quite impressed with the fight, deciding not to doom the planet, simply because the Saiyan girl displayed powers, adapted to them, and even went further beyond. Ulobord awakens, seeing everyone around her smiling. Bulma is even shedding tears of joy and happiness, taking pride in her adopted daughter doing all of that. Ulo says that this was probably the best and last fight she's had so far, at least for the next few months. Everyone is confused hearing Ulo saying she won't fight for a little while, asking what does that mean. Ulo says that Gohan and her did some other kinds of training too. Gohan processes it and gives off a surprised look. Goku is surprised as much as his son is, Bulma faints, and the rest cheer on to Ulobord's pregnancy. Gohan goes over to Ulo and hugs her, surprised that he's gonna become a father. Ulo smiles, saying she would hug back if she had strength left in her. Bulma is being treated by Vegeta, who gets her back up to consciousness. She too is also surprised, probably several times more than the rest. Beerus and Whis decide to stay for the rest of Bulma's birthday, which turned into a congratulations party for Gohan and Ulo real fast. Since she was drained of all power, she gets to be the spectator of the fights. Even Whis comes into fight, quote unquote, and even teaches a thing or two to his opponents. He mentions that he's indeed Beerus' teacher as well as attendant, which surprises everyone. Whis tells them that their skills are quite nice, but they still lack control. Vegeta wants to step up and ask, but at the same time, he doesn't want to seek help to get stronger. Rather, he keeps it to himself and swears to find a way on his own. Bulma also wants to ask, but Ulo already knows how to go Super Saiyan and plans on training with her. Goku thinks the same. Gohan already has training privileges from her, so he too decides to train up with her too. A few days since the Beerus incident and the tourney, Goku comes up over to Capsule Corp, asking for Ulo. Bulma says she's out back, and Goku goes there. Upon arriving, he greets Ulo and starts asking questions out of hype. He first asks about the feeling of the Super Saiyan God, and Ulo explains it as a calm feeling washing over. Nothing like the regular Super Saiyan forms they're used to, so it takes a while to get used to it. Goku then asks about the spirit bomb she cooked up a while back after getting drained. Ulo says she doesn't know, that she just wanted to have a tad bit more energy to prove her worth, hence why it all happened. Goku was astonished to hear about it and wanted Ulo to train with him to achieve the same power too. Ulo says it's quite weird to get into, but she will try her best to come and teach him. Bulma, on the other hand, was visited by Whis because he wanted to taste good food, periodically coming by and eating behind Beerus's back while he slept. Bulma asked Whis if she can be taught a thing or two Beerus was taught too. Whis says sure without second thought, so Bulma goes over to Vegeta to tell him that she's going on a small excursion with Jocko in space to conceal some details. Vegeta doesn't care and is more inclined on getting that Super Saiyan God power like Ulo did, finally being prompted to ask Ulo, who is already training Goku and Gohan. We're continuing this series next time. While you wait for the next part, join the T23 Discord server with a vanity URL down in the description. Also, check out Hero of Z in the pinned comment. Thank you for watching, and with that, peace out.